Hi, everyone. This is Aaron. And for this episode of Walnut Commentary, we have a question specifically for our youth mentor ministry here at FCBC Walnut. And this one is for Pastor John Cito. Pastor John, what are some principles for getting beyond surface level discussion to deeper, heartfelt sharing? In other words, prayer requests moving from physical circumstances to confession of sin.
Well, before I get into three principles that I'll offer you, let me read to you from Proverbs 20, verse 5, which says, "The purposes of a man's heart are deep waters, but a man of understanding draws them out." This gives us insight into our hearts in that our hearts are deeper than they first appear. And certainly something like a prayer request can be oftentimes simple, but it is also indicative of something perhaps deeper. Let me illustrate that by talking about something we can all relate to, physical pain. Okay, so let's just say that you were lifting something and then all of a sudden you felt something pop, and then you felt an intense amount of pain, and then you went into the doctor because you wanted to know, hey, what's going on? Did I really hurt something? Do I need surgery? Have I done something to my body that cannot be repaired? And you want to know what's going on. Well, the doctor will ask you a few things, like how long has this been going on? And what were you doing when you first felt the pain? Does it feel like pain all the time or only in certain circumstances? The doctor will probably manipulate you in certain areas in certain ways to see if he can reproduce the pain that you say that you feel. He's going to ask you to move in certain directions so that he can understand, well, mechanically, what's going on underneath. What is it that, where is it that you feel the pain, and why is it that you feel that pain? And pain is what we feel and what we respond to, but what is happening underneath is what we want to get to, is what we actually want to address. So when it comes to things like prayer requests, one common prayer request you may often hear is, oh, just pray for my test that's coming up in school. It may be a summer school test. It may be a normal academic year test or something. And so you can ask that person, okay, I'd love to pray for you. Can you tell me a little bit more? What is the class? Okay, are you familiar with that class? Do you like that class? How's that class going? Are you getting along with the other students in the class? Why did you choose to take this class during the summer? And is it more difficult in the summer, or is it easier in the summer? And how do you want me to pray for you for this exam? What exactly do you want me to pray for? What do you hope would happen from your exam? If you could tell God, I just need you to do this for me, what would you say? Are you concerned with the outcome of the exam? You really want a good grade so that you can do well and get a high GPA for the summer? Are you just doing this because you're trying to get your parents to hopefully be happy with you or something? Are you doing this because you're responding to peer pressure or something like that? The understanding is that the prayer request is the manifestation of things that are going on a little bit deeper. Now, along with recognizing the nature of our own hearts, I think a second principle would be to seek to understand their situation, which kind of goes along with what I explained in the first principle, in asking not just about the prayer request, but about the situation that prompts the prayer request, understanding where the person is coming from. And then third is to examine the pattern, look for a pattern, and don't just single out incidents. Why I say this is because sometimes when we start asking more detail about prayer requests, sometimes people can be taken aback. And if we're not careful and we kind of move forward too fast, people will feel like they don't want to share anything with you because they feel like you're just going to ask them a bunch of questions, and then you might point out things that they're not comfortable with hearing. So certainly you want to envelop all of this process into the relationship that you are building with somebody you are mentoring. It is a relationship that is based upon a foundation of love and care and respect for each other, and a desire on both parties to grow to be more like Jesus Christ. So we want to take our time with that. We don't want to rush that, but we do know that God has given us a way in which we can draw people out by God's grace and through the willingness and trust of other people. And so to that end, I offered you those 3 principles. I pray that they are helpful for you.
Thanks, Pastor John, and thank you everyone for listening. You can check out more episodes of Walnut Commentary at our archive at walnutcommentary.tumblr.com. And you can also find our church on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Our handle for everything is at FCBC Walnut. Thanks. See you soon.